The styles kind of seem to
Oh my god.
Oh, I
That's what
take
I
it
mean,
back.
like-
I love this feature.
like dismembered on the floor with a volcano. It's so weird. Like,
You've got like dick horns.
dude, I
What's going
actually
on?
kind of like this. I'm saying this again. Hey folks, welcome back to the Feature Crew. Today we got early access into the Apple Intelligence Playground. So while it's still fresh, we wanted to react to it, see what it's about. We've seen what they had in the promotional materials, but we're keen to kind of get amongst and try it out. So we're going to dive right in. Jacob, Chris, anything to add before we get started?
Yeah, just that this is Apple's like entry into the image generation space. So, quick plug for our videos where we compared the image generators of old a couple weeks ago. We'll link that in the description. Check that out if you want a baseline. And then I'm excited to see what Apple can pull off here.
Absolutely. Business.
Yep.
We're in business. Okay, we had some technical difficulties, but here we are. So as you land into the Playground app, I mean, already the UI is pretty interesting. So I'll give you a little bit of a tour. When you first land in, I guess my eye is kind of drawn to the suggestions. You're able to flip through, and it looks like there's a whole lot of predefined themes, costumes, accessories, places. And even in the front, you're given like a person, so like myself, which makes sense. It's very surprising they've gone people-centric. But you can go ahead and, let's say I add myself, kind of a bad photo, and it goes ahead and makes a cartoon version of myself. So
Very
there
like
we go.
Pixar style. We've noticed.
Very
Pixar
Pixar
dad
style. Pixar dad mode. And it generates 4 kind of photos. It looks like it just keeps generating if I keep swiping. So, this is the kind of generic Pixar-esque animation.
Yeah.
Clicking plus down the bottom right allows you to switch between styles. So it looks like by default, they allow you to do animation, illustration. I look like a very old dad.
Wiki how. Like,
It's a little interesting. Anyway, we'll stick with animation. It also looks like you can choose a photo, you can take a photo, and you're able to sort of add in these bubbles or these like extra like verbs or nouns, whatever. So if I go baseball cap, it does that. If I, set it in city with baseball cap, it will go ahead and try and put these all together.
and
So
so that's
that's
a clever
it.
way to do a few things, right? Like they know things that are going to work. So these suggestions, the ones they're showing up, they have a high degree of confidence are going to work.
Okay, so it's made you an astronaut in a somewhat sci-fi city.
My eyes are
And-
still getting messed up.
It very heavily weights the last thing you added, right? Because you added astronaut last.
Right.
That's true. I mean, sometimes it seems to skip, like adding sci-fi and astronaut doesn't really change anything. Well, I guess actually no, like the city is not in space, so maybe it did. I can tell it must be like an older image model, and we were trying this out before we started recording. It might actually be a local model, just based on how fast it's generating, the fact that you can kind of turn off your Wi-Fi. Maybe it's still using cellular, but it just doesn't look like the current class of models. Again, as Jacob said, shout out to our image comparator video, but you can tell like this is not as good as the latest state of the art. Part of that could be it's free, and so they need it to run on your actual iPhone. For reference, I'm using a 15 Pro Max. But you can even see with the eyes and the face and stuff like that. And even when we switch to, say, a different style, the styles kind of seem to
Oh my god.
Oh,
they seem to
no.
mask. Why does it give me a mustache? I'm so confused in this style. I guess I do have a little bit of stubble in that photo. Well, now we have city astronaut baseball cap.
okay. Now we get a generic astronaut. There you go.
Generic. It probably looks better without the people, is going to be my guess.
Right, but the
animation.
framing of this feature was very like emoji based, so it was meant to be you. We were going to make an emoji about you doing something.
Yeah. And you can often see, like, when we play around with it, it sometimes stops and says, continue by choosing an inspiration for the person in your image. So I guess to Chris's point, it looks like it is very focused on people first. Like, if it's kind of ambiguous, it's like, oh, we want to generate based on a person. And maybe that's a smart way of responding to, like, responsible AI kind of ethics here, where you don't generate a random person, you're generating a person that you've opted in.
Right.
I do wonder how that works if you just take a random photo.
There's no way for them to. I know exactly how it works. It deepfakes that person. Like,
Yeah,
there's no way
yeah.
for Apple to know if they're your friend or they've consented to being deepfaked.
Correct. Kind of
Which
wild,
is
honestly.
probably why they picked the styles they did, right? They purposely didn't go realistic, so there's no possibility you're gonna think this is a real photo. You're not gonna go, "Oh, this is some image we actually took. This is clearly generated." They leaned into that. The designer in me wants to say, "Hey, look at this. This is a cool new UI paradigm, right? You're doing a lot less typing." People who've watched a lot of our videos have heard me harp endlessly on how annoying typing is for users. We just don't expect users at scale to type out huge strings. So this is a foray into them not having to do that, right? You have all these suggestions, these little bubbles you can press. That's really cool. I think it feels more experimental. Having to delete and refire a whole sentence feels really cumbersome, but just deleting and adding these bubbles feels way snappier.
Yeah.
I think Jacob, you called that out, just the speed of the interaction.
Oh, the speed. Yeah, it's going quick.
I guess so. When you click done, you have an actual photo. It looks like you can edit it more. Question mark. I guess maybe can you save this? You can save the image. Okay, maybe saving image is kind of broken. This is the beta. So to be clear, we don't expect it to be like fully functional and stuff. But to Chris's point, I think it's super interesting how they're allowing you to add these, instead of just naturally text. It's another paradigm, and I appreciate them trying. You can add descriptions. So let's say if we go cat. So you could add, now we have,
There we go.
So it made the astronaut a
it
cat.
did make cat astronaut. So we
That's
have
kinda
The
fun.
coherence, like to call it, just like the coherence between the images is pretty cool. It's not the exact same image, but that cat was added to a very similar image to what we had before. And so now, as we add another word, like we asked for pixel style, it didn't really pick that up.
The background kind of pixelated a bit, but the foreground did not.
What about rocket ship? And going with the astronaut theme. Then we hit this thing called language not supported. So it clearly has not liked rocket ship. It could be because it's more of a, we can only kind of theorize what's happening here, but they've probably tried to restrict certain words or certain classes of descriptions. There could also be a limit to the number of bubbles. Maybe I'll try that really quick. If we just add try for your concepts. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is maybe the peak that they allow for right now.
And it does seem that like when you hit 6, it kind of, I mean, it's hard to tell. We're moving a little quick here, but
yeah, so just rocket ship it really doesn't like.
Right.
And then I'll go back and let's try 6. So fantasy fireworks. Let's see if it actually generates anything, and then we can try add a 7th. So it did its thing. It's still an image. And then if we try and add party, it seems to remove probably whatever was last. It's interesting to see that, changing this last, node or whatever is not really doing anything.
Right.
And
right.
probably because of the underlying prompt is getting kind of large.
yeah.
I don't really, farmer, I guess, is kind of the trees and the cabin thing. But then if we go, I don't know, winter holidays, does that help? Because that's kind of substantially different. No, it just seemed to make the same image.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm guessing it gets kind of like they have this inbuilt limit at about 6 because it's probably whatever you add is not going to have a massive influence.
Right.
I do wonder how they generate the underlying image. How does the prompt work? Is it farmer first, then astronaut, and stuff like that? Like maybe if we reordered it, it would give us a different image. So lots of things to experiment with, but we just wanted to give a kind of initial reaction.
It's super interesting. I wonder how people are going to interpret the controls here, right? You'll see a lot of stuff shared on social media, people trying to figure out how to control this, because we've hit these points where adding the prompt doesn't work. Adding some prompts seem to be heavily weighted, like, boy, did astronaut stick. Astronaut blew away farmer, no problem, right? Farmer was gone from that point forward.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see over time, like how they tune it.
Like
how,
superhero
for
dropped
control.
here entirely. Oh, there we go. There's a cape. Good squint.
Yeah, it's super interesting. Like you say, something's just a very dominant. My knee-jerk reaction is kind of, what do you use this for? Realistically. Am I going to be
Right.
dropping this into a group chat? I think when you don't have people, when it was cat, or just, some of these images aren't, what is this? It's just a random mask on the floor. What?
What was the prompt for the mask? Superhero adventure?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
superhero and adventure just generates
The
a kind of
teeth.
creepy mask on
The
the
teeth
ground.
get me.
I mean, let's get rid of adventure, then it immediately becomes person, right? So I'm blocked until I give it a person, and I'm only going to give it myself for now because the other people in my life are not necessarily consented. Um, but yeah, it really seems to kind of make the same stuff, and like we can.
Oh,
Oh, there we go. This is kind of superhero-y.
wait, go
Yeah.
What if
back
we?
one. Did you have 4 arms?
Oh yeah, go back one.
I think it's a cape, but it really does look like forearms. Yeah.
There's like a bicep on that upper right.
Yeah, that's no cape. That's no moon.
Okay, but superheroes sometimes have
I mean,
multiple arms.
ooh,
No,
why is my
honestly,
nose?
I like that the illustrating style is like trending towards that like meme, like scratch art style. You know, it's like
Right.
40 to 60% of the way there to just being like a meme because of how gross the art is.
Yeah, I mean, and look, so it does a good job of like persisting or like caching your results. So it feels snappy in that sense, right? But again, like, what? Like, am I going to post this in a chat? Like, what am I doing here with this? It's not
I'm
state of the
super
art
curious
enough.
on usage here. If I was betting, usage is going to fall off a cliff. I think people are going to experiment with it, and then like in your day-to-day life, you're not going to be like chatting with the boys, and then all of a sudden going, "Oh, hang on, let me divert for 5-10 minutes, go make this new Genmoji, and drop it into the chat." So
Yeah,
this feels like an all like they get to say they have AI, they get to say they're working with it, they get to test their hardware. There's a lot of upside to Apple's perspective, but I don't
Like
know
to
that.
Yeah, I agree. And from my perspective, I see a lot of it like you know, you can see how Apple markets stuff or like yeah, what does the ad for this look like? How do they demo it on stage? To at least see how they think people will use it. And like they couldn't even really come up with a compelling use case. Like I remember in one of the marketing screens, it was like a mom had said she picked something up for the family and the daughter replied with like mom plus superhero Genmoji.
Right.
And it's
right.
like, is that really how we're gonna go about this? Like, yeah, I can't see
So-
myself ever doing that kind of thing.
So we have the weird little emoji highlighting thing that Apple does, right? You can take your sentence and highlight some emojis. Do we think they're going to start suggest? Because it's pretty fast. So you could see a
Right.
world where they start suggesting Genmojis based on, I think Dylan's theory that they're indexing hard on nouns and adjectives.
yeah.
Do they pull those from my sentence, and does my suggestion bar, as we move out of beta, get into a full release, do I start seeing preemptively suggested ones? But I don't know, because this presumably uses a bunch of battery, right?
I mean,
You know-
yeah, maybe.
What I would expect, Chris, I think that's a good point. I think they would stick with the emoji thing. Like the highlighted words will stay the same.
Yep.
They'll create some equivalence class between emojis and playground prompts. So any emoji can be a playground prompt. So they use the same highlighting and the adding that they already have for selecting people, right? So if they use @mentions plus the emoji detection, then that could auto create prompts for a message, right?
I think there's truth to that. I'm sorry, I was smiling because I was reacting to, for some reason, this prompt just hacked off limbs.
I don't know why they're all. I think it's because it's like the
really don't know
superheroes are
why.
Mars. So when you add a robot, they're just kind of like not decapitated. They're just like dismembered on the floor with a volcano. It's so weird. Like in general, like just to your guys' points of like where it's going to be used and stuff like that. There's just the UX feels Apple. The resulting output feels nothing like Apple, right? Which is this weird kind of in between. Like
Very safe. Yeah.
I mean, it's throwing me because I love the UX here. I love the idea it's trying to get us to like prompt differently. But then at the end of the day, it's like, okay, well, what is this? And I copy or I'm going to share this image with someone, and they're going to be
Well,
like,
they've also,
oh,
I
yeah.
mean, they've disabled the. It seems like we haven't had a lot of success in describing an image, which is the most powerful part of this whole thing, right? It's like you could see how,
Okay.
you know, if I'm going in to an image generator with a goal,
Right.
like you know, the chances that the 4 emojis on the screen are going to lead me to my goal aren't high. But if I put in a text prompt and then I'm in the iteration mode and I want to add things or tweak it, then I could see the suggested emojis or the suggested prompts becoming very powerful. So I'm excited for a world where that describe an image piece works without a person as an anchor.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, we can try it here. Like, yeah, Roman statue.
Roman statue.
Classic,
Just
the OG.
the classic. Let's see.
Hasn't.
Kind of
And for the
thinking about
viewers in past image gen tests, we want to see how they render the statue and if they do it historically accurate.
Did it
with
just
paint
kick out of
or
it? Did it just fail? Oh, it needs person.
It said needs person, but then it made.
But then it just made you a Roman. Oh my god! Wait, go back. Wait. Somehow we got to Göbekli Tepe, even though.
Oh, I think this is Easter Island. I think we went Easter
Yeah,
Island here. These are the giant statues.
Wait, can you go back because those Easter Island heads are definitely phallic.
Yeah.
Like
That's
they
what
are.
it looks
They
like
are
in the back.
far more
This is
phallic
how we
than
get
Easter
flagged on
Island.
YouTube.
Oh no! I mean,
And then
I
you're
kinda-
just in the
what is this?
Parthenon,
Okay. Because this kind of looked like initially like, am I Roman at this point?
Right,
With
yeah,
the kind of
yeah, yeah.
garb. Then it's like I'm in Easter Island statues. Now I'm a professor at an excavation site.
I
Well
do kind
cut
of
in
like the
this one, though.
variety. in
Your
this one.
shoulder,
Some
your
of these-
traps came in hard on that one.
That's what I'm talking about, dude.
Well, because he's been exploring.
I mean,
And in the first one, wait, go back to the first one.
oh, sorry. That's okay. Yeah, this one.
That one, it kind of looks like it's something about the clothes and the art style. It's like reminding me of those Clash of Clans commercials.
Yeah. It literally does.
Oh
Let's
my
add
god, that's
superheroes
exactly
on.
what it is. Yeah, that looks exactly. Okay, so the other prompt we were thinking,
Why my head's?
Okay.
I'm Jimmy Neutron now. What is
your head got
happening?
huge, dude.
What is? And
Like,
this
look at
looks very
those first
marvelous.
two. You grew a solid inch of head. Like it just.
So big. What
Like, so
is
I'm
this?
curious. The
Oh,
other
wow.
prompt we love to use is we love to say mammoth.
Yes.
Does
let
it
me add
turn
that.
you into a mammoth? Does it put you near a mammoth?
Can you do
Um,
Mammoth without a person?
Yeah, let's hope. Because there's certain classes of things like cat and mammoth. Okay, so mammoth fully works.
Oh God, that's a total elephant.
So old image model being a correct guess here. This is
Mm-hmm.
this is well below any of the extant image models.
Okay,
Yeah,
mammoth.
third plug's a charm for our comparison, but this is like potentially
me
even
the
worse than
mammoth.
Dolph.
That's amazing. We
Oh, oh my God! You've got like dick horns.
Dude,
What's
I
going
actually kind
on?
of like this. I'm saving this one.
but there again with the phallic. I just gotta call out. Here.
Oh no, that's so bad. You're so right.
We
Okay.
did not need a mushroom top to the horn. I don't think.
Yeah, no, we really didn't.
I saved it. I got that. What? And then what is
It
this?
loves putting
What
horns on
happened
Dylan. In our testing before this, it was putting horns on him too. I don't know what it's trying to say.
I don't see.
I
That's what
take it
mean
back.
about
I love this feature.
This is just what? What is that? Like, this is just not right.
Oh,
This is not right. And then can we put like winter holiday?
Can we try to break it more? Can we make you an alien or something?
Yeah.
Do it-
I
wait, let's do
I
alien.
want to add like winter holidays. Winter. Does it really? Oh, winter holidays was it?
What are you trying to
I
get to
kinda
make you
that.
Krampus?
it's gonna be snowy horns.
That's what I'm thinking.
All right,
What
for
is
any
this?
Nordic Christmas followers, that was funny.
Deep
Okay, one
Krampus
more.
reference.
It just keeps giving me the kind of penis horns.
But you're
it
in
looks
the
like.
snow now.
But I am in the snow, so that's great. So then what?
It's funny;
alien?
those are actually smaller, so it does kind of have world understanding. Shrinkage
yeah.
happens in latent space.
Alien. Oh, interesting.
Okay.
Oh,
Look,
hello.
with the animation style, like let's try illustration with Alien. I'm just interested. Interesting. It's quite
Oh,
a bit
it looks
different.
way more like a sci-fi comic book or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then your first one looked more like Lilo and Stitch vibes.
Yeah.
Add your face. We gotta see. I gots to know.
But see, like
does
it
it do
looks
to
so
your
much
eyes?
better when you don't add the face because it's like it's just
Whoa.
the same thing. It's just the same.
Oh well, I guess the aliens are among us.
We are firmly in beta, ladies and gentlemen. We are live
It's-
in beta.
Well, I think maybe it's bailing out because it's like we don't know how to make him an alien. So now it's just me in like a normal apartment.
How about gray alien?
Well, depending on how tight the RAI is, too, alien could be an ambiguous term that they don't want to.
Yeah, they don't want to make people aliens, right? Like that's a really. I mean, I got silver hair. I'm now gray.
Does
Kinda got a bit of a-
ET help? Like, are you saying
Yeah,
alien because
like
it has other meanings?
extraterrestrial or something.
I'm honestly kind of surprised that like
It's really failed.
I mean, I think
in the Genmoji way of thinking about these, like, there is an alien emoji.
It's just the same thing now, just slightly colored gray. Doesn't really any difference.
I do like generic sci-fi uniform they're putting you in, though. Can you drop alien from the prompt so it's just extraterrestrial and you? Because it might be going hard on gray. Nope. Nope. We just.
And then, oh, interesting. And how about try the other style with the same prompt?
You de-aged now.
Yeah, it keeps making you younger as we go.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, it's kind of got the space background there. Let's just
Yeah.
go extraterrestrial by itself, and then it's just the same as Alien. Interesting. It just kind of.
Well, so for the
matches
sake of
that.
the audience, can we show the suggestions they have? So we have our little one row here, but we got themes. Okay, nice.
Costumes, accessories, and places.
Put an accessory on the alien.
Yep.
Make it royalty.
Make it. Wait, what is the royalty? Was it
The over one.
costumes?
There you
Royalty.
go, middle.
Yeah.
Get your Burger King crown.
Hell yeah.
Now it bails out.
Broke. Just bailed out.
Like, this is the thing that's so weird because I feel like it does so much better when it doesn't have, when it's just extraterrestrial. That looks so much better than whatever this is. Like, what
Right, and then
is
it just
this?
ignores. Well, I think this is like an overfitting thing, right? Like it's way overfit to putting accessories on a person or something. So when we're asking it
Yeah.
to do these more interesting tasks, it's like no.
Well, what about, can we get rid of royalty? Okay. And then can we go, like, UFO?
Okay.
Ooh,
Yeah.
ooh.
You know what I mean? Like, okay, literally just put that back.
This is the best image model out, I'm telling you.
Save.
Mid-Journey would have made something coherent and beautiful. This just goes for cursed immediately.
Oh,
Legs
that one
coming
has
out.
legs.
Okay, and then what about the illustration style? It's kind of
I
cooked.
wonder if it'll. Oh, interesting.
Okay, that's better.
Yeah.
I do wonder if the illustrations have more of this kind of stuff, like, and are better.
City.
I would love to see like the cross-domain performance of the different styles.
Okay, I mean this looks more expected.
Is it kind of low key blowing up a?
Yeah, it's
Fine,
funny because
city.
now there's like, because these actually could, those are pretty high quality. They could go in a comic
Hey, this
book. They
works.
could be an illustration for something.
Yeah.
These ones, well,
Well. Okay.
Oh, we dropped an eye.
It's just on the side of his head, actually.
It's not an ear. Oh, this guy's fit.
that's a prey species. That's why they had the aggressive side eye.
Interesting. Well, is there any other test we want to do? Otherwise, I think we got some pretty.
We also want to
interesting
try
results.
text. Can you have it hold a sign?
Yes. Stop sign. I think this is probably most likely, given it looks like it's looking for. Hey,
Oh.
it
Stop
does.
sign's gonna work. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well, then now let's take it up a notch then.
Yeah.
If it can do stop sign,
What other
let's
text?
do like
A street sign or something where the
Street
text
sign.
is more ambiguous.
Okay. Nice.
oh, and then
Just-
we dropped
okay, no text. Then, but now try giving it the text in quotes.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there we go. There's your classic
Very
image
nice.
model garbage.
Very
Yes.
nice.
But to be fair, we just let it hallucinate. So what if? Oh, Sutton. It actually seems to
Yeah,
have
I
a
tried to
word
do
in
this
there.
one. Yeah.
So try giving it a word. Do like street sign and then in quotes like what you want it to say.
Oh, what about like High Street? Street sign, High Street.
That,
I can kind of
It
see
looks like it's in.
H's.
It looks like Cyrillic.
High
this looks
step.
about a year old to me. Like this looks like where we were.
This looks like Will
2023.
Smith spaghetti, if I'm being real.
Yeah.
I mean, if this is running on
On device though.
on device,
High stock.
Yeah, but that's a nuance that you and I and us three will understand. But I don't think the consumer's gonna go, oh, well, you guys are running on device, so.
They gotta
I
make
also don't
this.
think consumers want text in their images very much.
I don't know if I
True.
said like at Coachella or something, right? Do
Well, no, I
expect-
guess sorry. I guess what I mean
Oh,
is
what
like
about-
people often use like a lot
Coachella
of
poster.
text.
Oh, okay.
Well, I actually kind of like how it framed those
Yeah.
though, like with the
There we
poster
go.
and
Oh,
the
hey,
This is
there
what
you
I
go.
was trying to get.
That was.
I was trying to
that
get
was,
a
you know,
a janky amount of text. So,
Oh,
hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay, like put yourself back in and say movie poster. Maybe
Oh,
that'll.
I'm gonna put myself in with Coachella, and then I'll switch it to movie
Okay.
poster.
Just blew it
when you
away.
put the person in it,
Oh, there
everything.
we go.
Oh,
Kind of looks like a movie poster.
that looks like a Scooby Doo sort of thing.
Yeah, you can see it kind of got cut off, and then I'm gonna switch.
Chimichilla.
What's right?
No, just trying to read the gibberish.
Coachella, and then I'm just gonna try an illustration as well to see if illustration maybe does less text.
Just blows you away again.
On the illustration one, be like, try to see if you can get it to like a comic book, like, text bubble or something.
Comic text.
Blam.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Look at that. It's got two arrows coming out, but hey, it's there.
And then let's add blam. Language not supported. Mm-hmm. 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 Mm.
So super restrictive on RAI. By far the most restricted model we've ever tested.
Mm.
Yeah.
Which tracks, I mean, that would be the Apple brand, right?
Especially because they made a deepfake generator, so they gotta be pretty.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, this is wild. I mean, it's a beta. Very interesting UX. Very poor results. It's running on, most likely on device. I guess we'll see how users play with it. Like, I'm so interested to see the use case because, like, I mean, I don't know how often I'm really going to use this. To be frank,
Yeah, I mean,
like it's.
leave a comment down below if you use this. We're very curious what the use case is. We'll
Yep.
try to get a video out later where we collect examples from the internet where people have done stuff, like see what the world comes up with. But I guess interesting opening for Apple, but a little rough.
I mean, imagine
think
buying a
it's cool.
16 Pro Max. You're excited with your new $1,200 phone. You finally get Playground, and this is what you generate. It's very. It's
well,
interesting.
but again, to be fair, it's like you've got your phone that costs the same as the equivalent model from last year and the same from the equivalent model the year before, and suddenly you're running like AI on device that we couldn't dream of 3 years ago. So it's like, all right, let's just let's
Frame
give
it
it a
up.
little time.
No, you're
The
so
speed
right.
is impressive.
And like I was saying,
and,
the UX.
and if it is running on device, that's huge. I mean, it has to. Think about how
Yeah.
many image generations you did during those.
Yeah.
If they were incurring any cost for that, Apple would be like hemorrhaging money.
Yep. So, like, credit where credit is due. You're exactly right. Like, as an early thing, as the UX, like, this has legs. It just feels very not Apple. And maybe this goes to show how important AI is for tech companies, right? That Apple would put this out because they want to be perceived as being part of the AI
Yep.
race, as opposed to waiting to be like, it needs to be clean, needs to be like Genmoji, like really, really nice. So that's all I'm saying. Of like it will be interesting to see how the Apple audience responds to this.
Yep.
So super exciting times. Please leave a comment if there's anything else you want us to demo, particularly with us, and let us know if you get access to the beta as well. And let us know how you're using it.
And obviously this isn't our like normal type of video. We're trying something new here. Let us know how you like the this format and trying out something with like a little less structure. And as always, if you enjoyed, give us a like, subscribe if you want to follow along. Anything else, boys?
No.
That's all from me.
Thanks, everybody.